1938, up in Redding, California, word had scattered out they was going to need 2,500 workers to build the Kenneth Dam. And already 8,000 work-ins had come to do the job. Telegram hadn't come from Washington. I'd play my guitar and sing the loudest, oldest, saddest songs I knew. And I'd nod and smile and say thank you every time anybody would drop a penny or a nickel into my cigar box. I'd walk across town with it jingling loose in my pocket, out across the street, through a vacant lot, down a cinder dump, onto a railroad track, till I come to a little grassy trail, which led to a thriving nest of 2,000 people, which we just called by the name of the jungle. I followed that trail out over the hill through the sun and the weeds. The camp was bigger than the town itself. People had dragged old car fenders up from the dump, wired them from the limbs of oak trees a few feet off the ground, and that was a roof for some of them. Others had taken old canvas sacks or wagon sheets and stretched that canvas across little limbs cut so the forks braced each other. And that was a house for those folks. I heard two brothers standing back looking at their house saying, "I ain't lost my hand as a carpenter yet. These old eyes can still see the hammer and nail." They'd carried buckets and tin cans up from the heaps, flattened them on the ground, nailed the tin to old crooked boards, and that was a mansion for them. Lots of people, families mostly, had old bedclothes with them, and I could see the stinky, gummy quilts and blankets hung up like tents, and there was 2 or 3 kids of all ages playing around underneath. There was scatterings of cardboard shacks where people had lugged cartons, cases, and packing boxes out from the town, tacked them up into a house. They was easy to build. The first hard rain hit, they was goners. Then about every few feet down the jungle hill, you just sort of see shacks just made out of everything in general. Old strips of tar paper, double gunny sacks, old dress, shirt, overhauls stretched up to cover half a side of wall, bumpy corrugated iron, cement sacks, orange and apple crates took apart, nailed back together with old rusty burnt nails from the cinder piles. Through a little square window on the side of the house, I'd hear bed springs squeaking and people talking. Men played cards, whittled, women talked about work they'd struck or work they was hunting for. Dirt was the floor of the house, and all kinds and colors of flying and crawling insects came and went like they was getting paid for it. Those big green blowflies, the noisy little street flies, manure and lot flies, caterpillars and gnats from other damn jobs, bed bugs, fleas, and ticks sucking blood, while mosquitoes of all Army and Navy types, hummers and bombers and fighters, singing some good mosquito songs. In most cases, old folks didn't have a roof or a shelter. Families just gathered together once or twice every day and squatted in a sort of Indian fashion around a fire, spaded a few bites of thickened flour gravy, old bread, or thin watery stew. gunny sacks, old clothes, hay and straw, fermenting bedclothes were usually piled with kids playing or adults resting and waiting for the word work to come. I ain't got no home, I'm just a rambling round. Work when I can get out, roam town to town. Police make it hard, boys, wherever I may go. Now I ain't got no home in this world anymore. My mind in your minds and I gathered in your corn. I've been working, mister, since the day that I was born. Worry all the time like I never done before, 'cause I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Stuck out on this road that goes from sea to sea. The 100,000 others that are stuck out here with me.